From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Friday, April 25th, 2025.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. A 32-year-old Venezuelan immigrant, Ricardo Parada Vasquez, reportedly went the wrong way while delivering a food order in January in Detroit, ended up crossing the Canadian border, was taken into custody by U.S. authorities, and deported. He was sent to El Salvador. What we're seeing is one wrong turn at the Detroit Bridge, the Ambassador Bridge, can result in your loved one disappearing, the Michigan Immigrant Rights Center communications coordinator told the Free Press, and that shouldn't be the case. There now appears to be scant information about Prada, prompting an investigation by the New York Times, which first published details of the case on Tuesday under the headline, "An immigrant held in U.S. custody simply disappeared." Prada's plight is the latest twist in an intensifying showdown between two branches of government, the executive and judiciary. A federal judge has ordered deportations to be reversed because of inadequate due process. The White House has not complied. One Metro Detroit attorney called the deportation very alarming. The reason for the information black hole, the Immigrant Rights Center said, is that immigrants are being held at detention centers for days at a time, something that the system wasn't set up to do with limited tracking and oversight.
Hi, I'm Arpan Lobo. I cover politics and state government for the Detroit Free Press. Governor Gretchen Whitmer on Wednesday appointed Court of Appeals Judge Noah Hood to a soon-to-be vacant role on the Michigan Supreme Court. Hood will replace resigning Chief Justice Elizabeth Clement, who previously announced she'd step down from her post at the end of April to take a role with a national court-focused organization. Hood's appointment gives Democrats a 6-to-1 advantage in terms of nominated justices on the Supreme Court, as he replaces Clement, who was nominated by Republican former Governor Rick Snyder back in 2017. Whitmer has previously backed Hood for appointments on the bench before. In 2019, she appointed him to the Wayne County Circuit Court, and in 2022, she appointed him to the Court of Appeals. Hood will see out the remainder of Clement's term and will be up for election next year when he can run for a full 8-year term on the bench. Along with Hood's appointment to the High Court, Whitmer also appointed 3 new Court of Appeals judges Wednesday. Among them is Chris Treblecock, a lawyer with the Clark Hill law firm. Treblecock has previously represented both Whitmer and her campaign in legal matters previously.
I'm Dante Bedingfield for the Detroit Free Press. When her mom was diagnosed with dementia, Gwendolyn Mia was grateful that her dad was there to help. What she didn't realize was that he was in the early stages of dementia too. Her father died in July 2022, and Mia, a local caregiver and Detroit Public Schools Community District school counselor, retired the following month. I then had to figure out, what am I going to do to take care of my mom? How do I assist her? Someone mentioned the Hannon Center, said Mia. Senior citizens in Metro Detroit are receiving a new lease on life and health through a community resource that's been called one of Michigan's best-kept secrets. Midtown Detroit's Hannon Center serves adults aged 55 and over and has restored vibrancy and vitality to hundreds of the region's older population for a century. It serves as a haven for seniors with dementia by providing art therapy as well as relief for caregivers, and in active seniors not living with dementia, Hannon helps to keep their minds sharp.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and you'll hear more from us Monday.